Celtic rock. We are looking at the 1-bar breaks. These are the fills. This is fill number 4. The first half is the fill, the second half is the beat. Also called the time, which is confusing, but it's beat or time. So the first half is the fill. In this fill we're using flams. I'll get into more detail with flams in our rudiments video, but with flams, the basic idea is that both your hands are going to land on the snare drum or whichever drum it is at the same time, but one is higher than the other. The smaller note is the one that isn't as far away from the drum. The bigger note is the one that is further away from the drum. And you wind up with a double sound, but up. Okay? Those are the flams. These are all on the snare drum. The first part, we have 8th note, 8th note, 8th note, 8th note. Those are on snare, bass, bass. Then we have 16th, 8th, 16th, 16th, 8th, 16th. So when we have 16th, 8th, 16th, we have 1 E and I'll get into more detail with that somewhere else. So the first half of this sounds then like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and You can count the whole thing as 16th notes. You just do not play on E and when it's all 8th notes. For 8th notes, because each 8th note equals 2 16ths. When you're playing 8th notes, it's 1 E and that's where you actually hit the drum. 1 E and in this case, especially snare, bass. 1 E and we do that twice. Then we have 16th, 8th, 16th. 3 E and we do that twice. So again, all together. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and Alright, then we just go into the beat, which is a somewhat funkier but somewhat standard 8th note beat. So when the other important thing to remember is that your tempo has to be even. Where the drummers need even tempo, which means the first half tempo has to match the second half. The tempo of our fill has to match the tempo of our beat. 1 and 2, and right, so 1 E and 2 E and it's going to match our and 2. It's going to be that fast. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then you repeat. Drum solos and fills. So, number 21 is the first of 2. Number 21, ST is the top line, small tom. SD is the second line, that's snare drum. LT, low tom or floor tom, down there. BD, bass drum. Alright. Other than a crash, there's no ride cymbal, there's no hi-hat, because this isn't a beat, it's fill. Alright. Triplets, quarter notes and 8th notes. So the difficulty is going between triplets and eighth notes, because you can count quarter notes as triplets, right? You just only play the first part, the first note of the three. One triplet, two triplet. So it's easy to go back and forth on that. The eighth notes is where it gets hard. So the first two measures, all right? You start on the snare drum and the bass drum. Pause. Okay. So then we dissect that. One triplet, two. Three triplet, four. Okay? One and two and triplet, two and triplet, 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 and two. And so the going back and forth part can be the hard part, right? Okay. So let's look at that again. Snare drum, then small tom, then low tom, and then back to the snare drum. Okay? There you go. Bass drum plays on all four in the first measure. The first three in the second measure, so 1, 2, and 3, but not 4, plays none of the third measure, which is the first one on the second line, and plays the middle two on the last one. Okay, so again. Okay, and I will add a little piece about how we count between the two triplets, eighth notes, triplets, eighth notes. Right now I'm going to do this in a loop so that we can play along, so that we can do it the right way. So here we go. Solo number 22 from our solos book. Bunch of triplets, some eighth notes, and then a roll. Those are fun. Okay, so the bass drum. All we have here is snare drum, bass drum. Kind of simplifies things a little bit. The bass drum comes in on 2 and 4 on the top line. So on the top line, 2 and 4. On the bottom line, it's all 4 for the first measure, and then just once for the last measure. Then, of course, our stinger, which is at the end of each one, the bass drum comes with. Crash. All right. So we can count triplets for the entire first line because it's triplets and quarter notes. And then we have to do eighth notes and quarter notes, eighth notes and quarter notes on the second line for the first measure, and then the roll. Okay? So here we go. Two and are accent marks and dynamics that are part of this as well. I haven't done those yet. The little, looks like a play button almost, with a sideways triangle. That means you play an accent. That means you play it extra hard. We have that on 2 and 4 for both measures of the first line. We have it on and of 1 for the second line. And then 3 and 4. And then underneath here you see that there's a little piece that starts this way. Kind of looks like a mouth. It's on the page, kind of this way. All right, that means you start softly, and then you get louder and louder and louder and louder to the end. We start playing piano, and then we end at forte. Okay, so that means as we go. Okay, so adding the dynamics in here. Okay. I'll play this one more time. I'll loop that so you can play along. Here we go.